Don't diss my abilities. That sentence popped into my head after someone casually called my child disabled. That word itself is not a problem. Disability can be an identity, a community, and a rally point. But when the label showed up with zero context, zero support, and zero vision for growth, it feels like a shortcut to say, there is a cap for you. Let's give up trying to help you to achieve the thing you're trying to do. And that's what was happening with my kid today. And I'm sure many of you had experienced that. So I'm making this video to talk about this, the reality a lot of neurodivergent kids and adults are facing every day. Disability isn't a defect. It's a mismatch between someone's body or brain and the system built around them. If a child who doesn't speak verbally is put in a classroom that only values oral participation, they will struggle. But that's not about their ability. It's about the environment. Change the environment, the ability shows. We don't call a fish broken because it can't climb a tree. But we do that to people all the time, especially to kids who learn differently, feel differently, and communicate in ways that most people are not used to. What we label a disability is just the difference in the need of support. As a mom to a neurodivergent child, I'm not pretending the neurodivergent child doesn't need help. They need a lot of help. It's incredibly struggle in everyday simple things like transition, going to school, putting on their clothes, and they get overwhelmed by sensory input that you might not even notice. And they process things in their own time, in their own way. But that doesn't mean they're incapable, and it doesn't mean they're less. Why I'm so serious about this is because the words that we use become the mirrors the kids look into. When we call someone disabled without understanding their strengths, we risk shrinking them into a list of deficits. We start defining them by what they can't do. And over time, they will do the same. For a child, especially who is sensitive to social cues and still learning, the label you put on them doesn't just describe, it limits. It builds a ceiling over their potential. It plants doubt in their minds. It shifts their focus from what's possible to what's wrong. They start seeing challenges as identity, and their real strength and unique capability, they fade into the background. And here's the science that we don't often get told. Harvard's Dr. Chris Palmer had showed that ADHD symptoms are often amplified by blood sugar crashes, poor sleep, or inflammation. That means behavior isn't to be fixed. It's responsive to environment, nutrition, sleep, movements. They are powerful levers that can move balance back to the brain. Another example, after scanning 250,000 of brains, Dr. Daniel Arman came to one clear conclusion. The brain is always changing. With the right tools like meditation, exercise, and great nutritious food like omega-3 and whole food, we can literally rewire our brain. Of course, not every trait disappears, and that's not the goal. The goal is not to erase the differences. The goal is to support everyone, ADHD or not, autism or not, to maximize their potential with the right tools. When the child is given just the label, but not told what's workable, what's trainable, and what's still unfolding, we risk shrinking their world before it even starts. Growth is always possible. It may look different for every child, but the potential is real. It hurts to see kids being robbed of that essential truth, the truth that shapes identity, motivation, and self-worth. You are capable of growth. Never let anyone diss your ability. So before you say they can't do this thing like everyone else does, ask better questions. How can they do this? What's the best way to support? How do you learn best? Because when we lead with curiosity and not assumption, the story changes, and so does the outcome. If this resonates, if you're navigating a similar path with your child or by yourself, you're not alone. And in case no one has said that to you, we're not raising broken version of typical. We're raising complete version of extraordinary. Appreciate you watched the video. I'll see you next time.